where she is." Jordan made a mechanical motion with his lips that resembled a smile. "It's a woman's prerogative to be late," he said, moving inexorably away from the columnist. "But wasn't she supposed to come with you?" Hedda asked in a lilting voice that carried to the suburbs as she followed him doggedly to the entrance. "Could there be some truth to the rumor about a split between Henry Higgins and his Eliza? Is that why Mireille's staying away?" She smiled sweetly. Jordan resisted the impulse to strangle her. "All right," he said with a sigh. Hedda poised her pencil over her pad. "The truth is, Mireille came down with some sort of stomach virus this afternoon. She's very sick, and her doctor has told her to stay in bed." Hedda stopped writing. Her eyes traveled up to his own with murderous coldness. "But if I know Mireille," he went on, "she'll make every effort not to disappoint all the wonderful people who are standing behind her on this thrilling occasion." He gave a little wave to the fans. Tight-lipped, Hedda leaned toward him. "Do you expect anyone to believe that crap?" she whispered. He kissed her cheek. "You look lovely, darling," he said, and went inside. The lobby was nearly empty. One of the few individuals remaining was Jordan's assistant, Adam Wells, who was shouting into a telephone along the far wall. Jordan strode over to him just as Wells slammed down the receiver. "Did you find her?" The young man shook his head. "I've tried everywhere. She's just disappeared." "Don't be an ass," Jordan said. "She hasn't just disappeared." Wells's eyes bulged with anger. "Look, Oliver, I've been searching for her for 5 hours. If you think you could do better—" There was applause from inside the theater. "Christ," Jordan said. "I've got to go in. Wait here. If she comes, bring her inside." "How long should I wait?" Wells pouted. "All goddamned night if you have to." Jordan snatched a program from a smiling blonde usherette and followed her to his seat near the stage. "I hope you win, Mr. Jordan," she whispered, brushing her ample bosom against his arm. "Your films always have such wonderful parts for women." He glanced back at her. She had too many teeth, but she looked as if she'd be good in bed. When she stopped at the aisle seats reserved for Jordan and Mireille, he slipped his card into her hand, and she made him a promise with her eyes. Loose-limbed and salty, he thought. Then he saw Otto Preminger glaring at him across the empty seat between them, and all thought of the toothy usherette evaporated. Jordan managed a weak smile. Preminger turned his noble bald head away in disdain. It had been Preminger who made the now famous statement that Oliver Jordan was too handsome to need any scruples. Even though that had clearly been a case of sour grapes, Jordan had refused to let Mireille work for Preminger. The phrase had caught on. Too handsome for scruples had become a commonplace expression, just as a phrase Mireille had blurted out while accepting her first Oscar had swept the country 5 years before. Stumbling in her still broken English, she had told the Academy that they had touched her with their hearts. It had made no sense, but the expression became a catchphrase for songwriters, greeting card companies, florists, and everyone else who made their living selling romance. Mireille. Jordan looked at the empty seat beside him. The slut. An actress did not snub the Academy Awards. Not when she was sure to win. If she didn't show up tonight, she would never even be considered for another Oscar. Not unless Jordan could somehow stem the tide of bad publicity that was bound to follow a blatant no-show. His brain was already gearing up for damage control. It could be done. He drummed on the arm of his chair, thinking. Mireille would have to stay in a hospital for at least a month to give credence to the too sick to attend story he'd given Hedda. Then a lot of publicity.